influencer uprising against Zionism and why it's too late to do anything about it. This is News from 5D. I'm Otis 5D.
News from 5D with Otis 5D.
All right, so before we get into this, let me just give you the quick rundown of the thesis, and then you can just stop watching the video, you fucking lazy-ass motherfuckers. The thesis is basically that there is a influencer uprising against Zionism / Israel / the Jews. I don't really differentiate between those three things, but everyone tells me I should. And it's too late to stop it. And pretty soon this is going to be the #1 issue on Twitter. And I don't know, like Elon and Mark Andreessen are not going to be able to avoid it, and they're going to have to take a side. And then once those sides are taken, then things will become clear from there. But this will become the #1 issue. That's the prediction. It's already happening. The dam is long broken under the surface, and it's just a matter of the water reaching the surface where everyone realizes that the dam is broken. So we're going to go through a few videos to kind of like give evidence to my thesis, and we'll go from there. All right, so we'll start with good old anti-Semite Dan Bilzerian. And what does he have to say? Where are you, Dan Bilzerian? Are you hiding in the sewers? I shouldn't say things like that. That's how you get canceled.
First transgender clinic.
Like gender affirming care. And then
so here we go. So we got Bradley Martin, fucking, I don't know. Like, I fuck with Bradley Martin, but Bradley Martin's persona is he's like, what's his fucking name? The fighter and the kid. Dude, what's that dumb motherfucker? Brendan Schaub. He's like got Brendan Schaub vibe. He's like the fucking dumb jock, doesn't know anything. I'm sure he's smart. That's the point. I'm just saying that's the vibe. The vibe is like total meathead, total idiot, just fucking lifting weights and talking to Dan Bilzerian, asking about what's the deal with all this wokeness, bro? You know, so here. So that's setting the stage.
An insurance company bid there, and it's like, it all comes back to like, why is it being pushed in some way?
Yeah, why is it being pushed?
I mean, the first transgender clinic was opened by Magnus Hirschfeld. You know, that was a Jewish gay doctor in Germany, 1919. First transgender surgery.
1919?
Yeah, that was the first transgender clinic, first transgender surgery. So this came from Jewish people. In their Talmud, there's 8 different genders.
I don't know about all this. This seems like some QAnon shit to me.
Quran. Right? Like, so this is a Jewish thing, and here's what happens, is the Jewish media pushes the left their talking points. They don't one day just like all say the exact same thing.
Yes. So
this is a Jewish thing, and here's what happens, is the Jewish media
I love it. So, bro, fucking, I knew this from the start. I'm so angry at myself that I wasn't making videos at this time. I didn't have the balls, so I forgive myself. Anyway, Kanye is so goated. Like he fucking dropped the mic, and now it's like the fucking chain of landmine, grenade, nuclear weapons is still going off, right? The Jewish media, he normalized the Jewish media. Fucking Lex Friedman's pussy ass.
The left their talking points. They don't one day just like all say the exact same thing. They're given these talking points. They're given these talking points by the media.
Operation Mockingbird.
They're given these crazy talking points. And now everybody looks at it like, oh, the left is just crazy. It's the crazy Democrats.
Oof.
Where is this message coming from? And that's what people don't see, is they don't see that these messages are coming from the Jewish media, the Jewish community, and now it's a left versus the right, and the right looks at it like, oh, the problem is the left. The problem is these Democrats. And the left looks at it like, oh, the problem is white supremacy. And the problem is Muslims. And so you get distracted from who's actually causing the real problems, and that is the Jewish religion and Jewish supremacy. That is where the problems are coming from, but it's distracted because it's like, oh, it's just the leftists. And this person's not Jewish, and he says that, so it's not a Jewish thing. You know what I mean? It gets confused, but when you look at the root of where this is coming from, it is coming from their religion, it is coming from their media, it is coming from, you know, BlackRock is what pushed DEI. BlackRock's all Jewish. All the top execs are all Jewish. They want diversity so bad. Why don't they have diversity? I don't see any black, women, black Jewish women, black guys. I don't see black guys wedding Jewish women. Like, you don't see the stuff that they push. Like in Israel, there's no, open borders. There's no mixing. There's no, like, oh, let's, bring in the black Christian guy. No, there's none of that. You would get ostracized. They keep their people all Jewish. And yet so it's like, rules for me and not for thee, right? Or, it's just like, it's very different. So like what they're telling people, what they're pushing is not what they're doing in their own country. Like porn is illegal in Israel, but yet all porn sites are all owned by Jewish people. OnlyFans, Pornhub, all that stuff, all Jewish owned. So it's like, you look at who owns it, you look at who's pushing it, and then you look at if they do it in their own country, and it's completely fucking opposite.
Dude, I personally think Mark Andreessen is having like a fucking meltdown right now. I'm an HSP, right? And I think bro is having like a full-on meltdown right now because he knows that this is like, it passes all the smell tests. Like you dig and and the early life meme, I'm sure he's like secretly looking at early life, like, fuck. And like, how does he dance with that? Damn, bro. Damn. I don't know. I don't know when the fucking preference cascade is gonna happen with this particular one. Okay, so what do we got? Look at goated ass Otis 5D, straight to just fucking bangers, bro. Okay, so now we got a minute and 20 seconds of Jeffrey Sachs dropping knowledge, as the black Muslims like to say. Okay.
Was the U.S. got bogged down in Iraq. There was the insurgency. We didn't move onward to the next war, which was to be Syria, which was to happen already 20 years ago. This is probably a clean
break memo he's talking about.
But in 2011,
1996, I think.
What really brought Assad down
Jews.
Last week started under Obama. This is also interesting.
This is about Syria. We're talking about Syria.
It doesn't really matter
like
who's president. This is long-term deep state policy. Obama ordered the CIA to overthrow Assad. So that started in 2011.
But why would Obama want to overthrow Assad?
Don't
because Israel has run American foreign policy in the Middle East for 30 years. That's how it works. We have an Israel lobby. We have...
Bro, you got Bradley Martin, you got Dan Bilzerian, you got Jeffrey Sachs, you got Tucker Carl. Oh, bro. Fucking cooked. Cookata.
A clean break strategy. We have a plan for
clean break.
7 wars in 5 years. And what's interesting is they actually kind of carry out this madness. They don't explain any of it to the American people. They don't tell anybody, but you can watch step by step. We've had 6 of those 7 wars.
So a bunch of Jewish neocons, clean break memo, 96, Richard Pearl, forget the other dude's name. All Jews say you need like 7 wars, to fulfill the prophecy. Just kidding. You need 7 wars so that like Israel can be safe, so that like none of the Middle Eastern countries can like threaten the hegemony, aka the hegemony of Israel in the Middle East. And damn, bro, we really cooking now. She really thought she cooked. Okay, so now we got USS Liberty back. So
USS Liberty, I'll give you like a quick breakdown of it. Basically, Israel they wanted to drag the U.S.
So what I think, this is my prediction, USS Liberty is going to be the sort of like smoking gun. It's going to be like the ivermectin or something. That might not be a good analogy, but it's going to be like the thing that people use where like no upstanding person like Balaji or Palmer Luckey or Mark Andrew, like Joe Lonsdale, they have to give you that one. Alex Karp. All these people have to give you the USS Liberty, and that's the wedge. That's the wedge to being like, is Israel actually our greatest ally? Like, is that actually factual? Because they can't deny this one. And they're going to try, but they're going to get smoked. They're going to get their fucking boots smoked on this one.
War with them. So they attacked one of our Navy ships. And they did, it wasn't just like a regular attack. They were like napalming the decks, blowing up the life rafts. They torpedoed the ship. I mean, they just, went at the ship for like an hour and a half. And we had called in SOS calls. We're supposedly their ally. And their goal was to sink this ship. They had 4 torpedo boats, like they had multiple gunships, helicopters, and they wanted to blame it on the people they were fighting, false flag attacks, and then we would go and fight the people that, you know, they're at war with. And they did the same thing with the Levant affair. And, you know, I think they did the same exact thing with 9/11. So they've got a history of these false flag attacks. But when I read about the USS Liberty, that one kind of hit home because they put a gag order on these people, killed all these, you know, U.S. Navy guys, and the goal was to blame it on the, you know, the people they were fighting. And, you know, I'm just like, how the f- are we allies of a country that's attacked us multiple times, stolen our secrets? You know, as you start to like learn more and more, it's all bad.
Yeah, they
There's
stole
no
the
good. They've done
nuclear
nothing
weapons
for us ever, and we just constantly
plans.
send them money. We sent them,
LBJ.
depending on if you want to go with the Newsweek or, you know, the Brown University study, we've given them in aid, like between what we've given them, the war on terror, and all the things we've done for them, between 20 and 30 trillion. So it's almost like our entire national deficit is our support of Israel. And
imagine if
nothing
that
for us.
normalizes.
So USS Liberty, I'll give you like a quick
Imagine if that becomes like a normal idea that like the national debt is basically because of Israel, wars for Israel. Like it's hard to imagine, right? Like that's hard. That sounds insane, in my opinion. In like late December of 2024, it sounds insane that you would think such a thing could become normal. But like Peter St. Onge said, that like 73% of Americans support like Trump's agenda or whatever. It's like, did you see that coming 6 months ago? Things are changing very rapidly out in these streets. So then I feel like to kind of, here's my cherry on top, my pièce de résistance of this thesis is, what if the fucking midwit meme turns into this? What if like this normalizes, okay? So the midwit says, actually it's complicated, and both the left curve and right curve say it's the Jews. What if that becomes a normal thing? And like, are they going to be able to do anything but just like censor social media? Like what are they gonna do? I genuinely don't know. I think they're gonna have to do hardcore false flags that we can hardly even imagine right now. You know, some people believe, I'm not in this camp, I'm just throwing out random ideas now. This is pure speculation. I almost feel like I shouldn't even say this because it like cheapens the video, but I don't fucking care. Who am I? I'm a nobody. The like the drone thing, like that could be some kind of false flag, not necessarily related to Israel or anything, but just like generally speaking, some kind of false flag or distraction or whatever. But I think they need like a major distraction. This is not going away. This is built. I've watched trends. I like to think of myself as a trend spotter, and this trend is intensifying and it's spreading. The fact that it spread to Bradley Martin means that the Nelk boys are aware of this. You know, they're friends with Tate. And so you can imagine the fucking Nelk boys like poking fun at like Salim poking fun at Steiny and like, you know, you little Hebe boy, and like things just sort of fleshing out, little jokes under the surface, because it's, and you can imagine in schools all over the Western world, right, that jokes and ideas about the Jews and about the Holocaust and about USS Liberty and about Hitler are now in a totally different context than they were during my childhood or Bill Ackman's childhood and Joe Lonsdale. I think it's too late. And so I don't know where this leads, but I think that this lens is exceedingly important to understand what's going on in America and the world at large. And if you don't have this lens, it's like, I don't know, you may as well be myopic. It's like very hard to see things. I'm not saying this explains everything, but I'm saying if you don't have this lens, it's like not knowing about money printing. Like, wait, what are you talking about? Isn't the money, you know, like there's like 50% of people still think that the money's backed by gold or something. It's like, think about what a huge disadvantage that is if you don't know that the money's not backed by gold, like in terms of just your ability to navigate reality. I think if you don't have this lens, you have a massive disadvantage in the navigating of reality. And so that's my thesis, and we'll see. And you, in the meantime, can go fuck yourself. Peace.
Otis 5D.